All of us want to stop procrastinating, but none of us can. This video is going to show you how to potentially beat procrastination and get your work done. All of us procrastinate, but the worst part is that even when we want to get our work done, even if we want to be productive, even when we know we're procrastinating and we're wasting time and we want to stop it, we can't. We're just like in a zone where you can't do anything but your work. And you know the zone that I'm talking about. You're video hopping on YouTube, scrolling aimlessly through Facebook. You may be even reading something you don't want to read on BuzzFeed. Even if you don't like to procrastinate and you want to do your work, you just can't. It's almost as if you're stuck in this procrastination rut and you can't get out. Well, why are we in this rut? Here's the thing. The hardest part of getting work done isn't actually getting work done. It's starting to get work done. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. It's kind of like going to the gym. Now, there are some days where it's just super hard to put in that effort to go to the gym. Imagine you're at home, you're in your bed, and you're just so comfortable. Maybe you've got a TV show streaming, maybe friends, and you're under your thick blankets. At that situation, the thought of having to get up, get ready, pack your stuff, find transport, work out, shower, all of that just takes so much time. Especially when you're comfortable in bed, it's super hard to do any of that. Forget going to the gym. Even the thought of going to the gym makes you tired. But it's interesting. Once you've reached the gym, once you're in your workout gear, once you're there, oh, no problem. You stretch, you can warm up, you can work out. Hell, you may even want to do more than what you originally came in for. Maybe you want to do more reps, more sets, and it becomes so easy to do more. And this is true with all areas of life. You see, the hardest part is the initial work you need to do to get started. Have you ever tried to push a really heavy object? Initially, it takes a lot of effort, power, and you may be pushing and not be getting anywhere. But as the object starts moving, a bit of momentum gets going, pushing becomes much easier. And you notice this with assignments and essays as well. You can procrastinate a lot, hours going by just doing nothing, not even starting. But after all that procrastinating, when you finally decide, okay, I'm going to do some work, and even though it's hard to get those first few sentences out, open up links, research, after a while, we all reach this flow state where we're able to churn out words super fast, get our ideas onto our paper, and we're extremely productive. And we all know the zone, so to speak, that zone where you're accomplishing things. You don't even want people to talk to you because you're just so focused. And you'll notice that when you break, let's say for even 15 minutes, starting again is hard and lethargic and you're lazy and it takes a lot of effort to get back into that flow zone, that state where you're just super productive. Because it's really that part that gets you. Starting something is the hardest part. We procrastinate a lot because we don't want to start. And because we don't want to start, we do stupid things to fill our time so that we don't have to start. Doing things we don't care about because subconsciously we don't want to start. But once we do, it's super easy to get work done, and we all experience this. So, knowing this, how do we overcome this initial hurdle? It's very simple. Commit to yourself to 5 minutes of work. No phone, no Facebook, no friends, no distractions, just 5 minutes of pure work. Everybody can do 5 minutes of work. Everybody has that time. And here's the important part, right? When you're done with your 5 minutes of pure distraction-free work, if you want to do more work, if you want to continue, go ahead. But if you don't, that's fine as well. You see, be honest with yourself. This isn't some trick where you do 5 minutes of work, and if you still don't want to do more work, you say to yourself, okay, I'll just do 5 more minutes of work, and you try to trick yourself into entering the cycle. No, this isn't that. We're not tricking ourselves with some stupid productivity hack. If we do that, we know we're tricking ourselves and it's not going to work. This is not that. This is getting over that initial phase of laziness. You see, when we know that an essay is going to take 4 hours to do, that 4 hours subconsciously seems like this bulky, large, heavy block of work, and we just don't want to do it. We just can't start because it's so massive in our mind. However, if we just say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to commit to just 5 minutes of work. 5 minutes isn't really that long, so we don't try to fight it. And it's easy to do 5 minutes. all of that massive workload pressure disappears. You know, Steve Kamp talked about making habits in one of his videos, and I'll link this video in the description. But essentially, he talked about how he made a goal of playing the violin every day for 30 minutes. He'd do the first day, he'd do the second day, but after a while, he'd slip up and he'd just stop playing. Because 30 minutes in his mind was just a long time to commit to. However, when he changed the minutes from 30 and drastically reduced it to 5 minutes a day, because 5 minutes, everybody has 5 minutes. And what he found is that because it was so easy to do 5 minutes, that 5 minutes was just enough to get over that weird starting phase of getting to work. Sometimes he would play for only 5 minutes, and that's okay. But many times, after his 5 minutes were up, he'd play for another 5 minutes, or maybe another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and suddenly he's playing the 30 minutes he thought he didn't have, and the same 30 minutes that his mind didn't want to commit to earlier. You see, reducing that initial workload is just what you want to take that subconscious pressure off and start your work. And when you start, more oftentimes than not, you won't stop. The point is that no matter how much of a rut you're in, you can do 5 minutes of work, right? And many of times, these minutes will lead you into doing more work than you initially planned. This is great when you want to start things early without a deadline. Because, let's say if you do have a deadline, whether you like it or not, you get work done. You have no choice. Having a deadline is like having a blaring alarm in the back of your mind to get productive fast. Without deadlines, that's when you procrastinate the most. And that's where this tip is going to be most effective to help you start things when you don't have a deadline. So you don't end up procrastinating and you have the ability to get work done early. The most important aspect about this is that if you don't feel like continuing to do work after 5 minutes, don't force yourself. However, I find that you will want to continue. Because after that initial hard laziness phase of lethargy is over, and you're in your flow state, you won't want to stop and you'll often continue your work. So, this is what I want you to do. Pause this video right now. Look at the clock and just for the next 5 minutes, do something that you've been putting off. Just 5 minutes. No distractions and see how it goes from there. Right? Pause now. Okay, most likely you didn't pause. But when you actually tried this, you'll see how just overcoming that initial hurdle of revving up your gears, starting and just doing some work, not a lot, but just some work, it's gonna eliminate a lot of your procrastination. Alright, hope that helped. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or email me. What I'd really appreciate though is that if you have any thoughts, any feedback on how I could improve, there's a link to the form in the description. Be as critical as you need to be, and hopefully I'll improve next time. Alright, hope that helped. Have fun. Take care.